Welcome to the second bag of the Daily Bugle. Very excited to finish building this because now we're kind of getting into the fun detail work. The first bag was a lot of just groundwork, kind of just setting the tiles and the base up. And the one thing I forgot to mention from the first video of bag one was it also comes with this nice like blue brick separator, this teal brick separator. I love this coloring. It's so much nicer than the orange. So that's the brick separator you get with this set. Now, even the police are excited if you heard those sirens. But the minifigures we get in building this set is Gwen Stacy, which I am very excited about because I think Gwen Stacy, let's get her in focus here, is so important to Spider-Man's history. Is really, his first crush. And though in my book, Mary Jane Watson is his true love, it was Gwen Stacy was his first kind of one girl he fell in love with. So I'm really glad we got her since she's so important to Spider-Man's history, and she is really a well-designed figure. So I love her design. But we also got, for the Daily Bugle, Ron Barney. And I've mentioned it many times, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I know a lot more than I probably should. I knew a lot more in the past, but I didn't know who Ron Barney was. This is like, who's Ron Barney? And it turns out he is a reporter for the Daily Bugle who wrote a story on the Silver Surfer, and that's all I could find. I went to Marvel's Wiki, Comic Vine, and really there was no information on Ron Barney, the reporter from the Daily Bugle, beyond he's a reporter for the Daily Bugle and he wrote a story about the Silver Surfer. So because of that, I'm actually really disappointed that this is a character we got in this set. And I say that because there's a few villains I'd really still love to see. One would be Electro, and I think Electro would have been a great one, like the classic Electro, not the movie version, but the really just comic book bad costume with the Thunderbolt star headpiece mask, because we have this electric box that we built in the first bag, and I think that'd just be a great tie-in to Electro. So I would love to have seen him in this set. But anyway, we got Ron Barney, and it's okay. We got some citizens for Spider-Man to save, and again, not my favorite choice. Could have done without him, but a nicely designed figure. So they can't all be villains and heroes. But let's get to the actual build itself. Now, let's start with the back here because there's not as much detail. You can kind of see the wall here, and there's going to be lots of studs on the side, and I'm not sure if those are going to have anything attached to them, like fire escape stairs, or it's just there to make it look kind of more rough, like a real wall. But I love this on the back. So the back of the building, and I kind of mentioned this when I was going through the instruction manual, that Peter Parker, he always had to kind of hide his Spider-Man suit or hide his civvies in his webs. And sure enough, if you lift up this web piece, you hide a backpack, which is probably representing the satchel that he usually uses to kind of hide his clothes in. But I love the backpack piece here that we hide as he webs it up against the wall until he needs to change. So I love that detail. There's also a door, a back entrance door. But this web is when we finally got to use the unnumbered bag piece, because this unnumbered bag piece came with some web pieces, which I got there, and we're going to come to it too. There's some Daily Bugle newspaper prints, and we'll get to that when we get to the inside of this build. But I'm going to turn around so you can kind of see more of what we're doing, and now we're going to get to the interior of this building. And so here with the interior, I'm probably going to have to do different camera angles here. So the first shot I want to show is of the newspaper rack behind the bench. So when we enter the Daily Bugle, we've got these benches to wait on, the chairs that we're waiting on, and behind that, we've got a newspaper rack of the Daily Bugle. Now, what they have here is the no crime, no thanks to Spider Menace Daily Bugle prints. Now this is clearly today's edition because this is the one that we get the most of. We get a lot of these prints of the no crime, no thanks to the Spider-Man menace. And if you remember from the first video, I kept talking about that purple piece, nothing special. It was just the the base that we're gonna put this newsstand rack on. So I don't know why they went with purple, but it just goes right there. And we've got the newspaper stand rack behind the waiting bench. Next, I wanna show you the soda machine. The soda machine is a really cool build. So I'm gonna pick it up here so you can see it better, but it's right by our entrance door. But in the thing, we've got this printed 1x1 tile piece so people can make the selection of what soda they want, and if you need change or you got the change machine wasn't working, get your change out from here. And then there's 4 of these 1x1 round plate bricks with the 1x1 round tile pieces. What's cool is even though these things are stuck here, there's a little hole here to pretend like you can get your soda out, but it doesn't actually function. But if I take out one of these cans, you're going to see that each can, even though you can't see it, they put the printed cap on. So I love the fact that we still get that cap. Even though we're not going to see it, they made sure to give us that printed tile piece to put in our soda machine. And again, that little entrance there is just kind of like the exit here where you grab your soda. It's just kind of for visual effects. It doesn't actually work. But we're going to put that against the back wall, and that soda machine is right next to that door I showed you earlier leading to the back. And then I'm just going to move it over here. So what I really love this, there's in the back here, there's like a little elevator, and the elevator into the wall. So it's just a blank wall behind it. So if you turn around, you see it's not there. But we get the illusion of an elevator right here, which I think is really cool behind, the main desk here. And the main desk, of course, has a little security entrance with a door that does open and close. You've got the siren in case somebody's carrying a firearm or some metal through that they shouldn't, because you might have a disgruntled employee or somebody wrote a bad article about, or maybe just oh, who knows, maybe it's just somebody who trying to get Spider-Man to come to the rescue. But I love the desk here. These curved tile pieces to create that front desk is really cool. The chair is stationary, it doesn't move, and for some reason there's handcuffs here. I don't know why there's handcuffs here, but whatever. And then against the wall, let's see if I can move it here, you're going to see like 2 things. It's like one of those little mini minifigures in gold, like a statue, and then these clear pieces to kind of create one of those awards, the glass awards you get for excellence in journalism. So I think that's really cool. And then I want to talk about these newspapers. So I'm going to get a different angle here so you can see these newspapers. So while the No Crime is like the generic print where you have like today's edition, so there's lots of editions of it, all the other newspaper prints are uniquely printed. So these 2x2 tiles all have unique front page headline, and so you actually have to look very careful at the instruction manual, and the instruction manual can actually be kind of hard to see, at least with my older eyes, to tell the difference. But you look for those little things, like this one is actually a picture of the Daily Bugle, the top of the Daily Bugle, and they're talking about how they get a new building. So that's kind of a fun reference to this being the new Daily Bugle set, since there was an older one. In the center here, it talks about a Lego man on the moon, and I was explaining the history of Spider-Man and why JJ doesn't like Spider-Man, because he kind of stole his JJ's thunder from being an astronaut when Spider-Man saved him. And so Builder Cheetah said, hey, it's JJ's son on the moon. So I think that's why they did it. I think Builder Cheetah caught on. The reason they put this whole moon one on was because of JJ's son being an astronaut. So that's the kind of detail I think that went into this set and all the things they thought about. And then here's just one of is Spider-Man, a menace or a threat? Is he a hero or a villain? Which is a very common thread throughout the Daily Bugle. So these are the first 3 newspaper prints that we kind of get displayed over those trophies. This is just like a heads down view of that desk I was talking about, so you can really see the curves. It just looks like very modern. I love it. And there's also a walkie-talkie back here. So I guess this is kind of like the security station with the handcuffs and the walkie-talkie. But I still think the handcuffs seem a little out of place. The extra pieces in the second round of bags is great. Now, we've got these 4 cheese wedge slopes and the 2 1x1 plates. You've got the round plate, the tile pieces, the round tile piece. But then you've got the soda cap top on this 1x1 round tile piece, which is always great. And then you've got the elevator arrow. So is the elevator going down or is it going up? But that's just a nice, useful piece, especially on that nice translucent orange color. And then I love the printing on that keypad. I mean, that can be so useful in mocks with just the computer dashboards and anything science fiction or just futuristic. Like this piece is going to be really handy. And you know, handcuffs aren't exactly rare, but still it's a nice little piece to get. And I love getting the micro statue here, the micro minifigure they use for the statue. I mean, the fact, you got the little holes in the legs, it's just, this piece is so great, and it's going to be so useful in the mock work that I love the extra pieces we got just for the use of future mock builds. We're definitely getting to the more exciting parts of the build now that we've got the foundation laid out, and we're just starting to build the Daily Bugle up. And I just love all the little things they're putting in there, like just like the little actual arrows for the elevator, the lights above the back door, this little vent here. Just there's so many little details they made sure to include in this set that I'm very happy with this purchase already, and I'm looking forward to building bag 3.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe or check out some of our other videos. Until next time, let's keep building together.